No, but I suspect it's probably because it's easier.
Anybody seen this?
All of these financial institutions, they buy politicians. You can take this big sum of money, and then you can start to buy people. I work for BlackRock.
Meet Serge BlackRock.
Let me tell you, it's not Dirk who's the president. It's who's controlling.
So he's a recruiter for BlackRock, this guy, right?
And who's that?
So James O'Keefe, I recommend going to see the video on OMG News. I believe that's what it is. OMG, O'Keefe Media Group, so OMG. But he does all the undercover stuff, and I know, liberals, I get it. You don't like him because of some of the other stuff that he's done. But let's just agree to disagree on some of the other stuff, right? And let's just look at it this way. He's going after these corrupt organizations. BlackRock being one of the largest and most corrupt, okay? And this is a recruiter talking about how they pay off politicians. He says senators are cheap. They're $10,000 a piece, you know? And he claims that he could get up to $400,000 that day. It would be no big deal to pay somebody off. And he says it doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican, you know, whatever it is, they pay both sides. So they get what they get their money's worth, okay? And so these are the companies, you know, I believe that, you know, there's a deep state avenue to these companies as well. If you look at the higher ups, you know, they're from the military, they're from Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, you know, all those many Northrop Grumman, you know, and then the State Department, the CIA. Just saying, you don't have to agree 100% with a person in order to be okay with them trying to disrupt the corrupt system that we have in power right now. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't care about the whole, you know, I believe me, I'm no big fan of Republicans either, you know? I'm no big fan of the Democrats, you know? I considered myself on the left or a Democrat my whole entire life, right? I'm 53 years old right now, and I no longer feel that way. I know, you know, I mean, I always felt I was kind of independent, but I always voted for the left when I voted. You know, I didn't always vote, and, you know, I'm not sure if I will again, but we'll see. But I just think that I can get behind anybody who's on board with seeking out corruption. Right now, it seems to be the Republicans because, you know, the Democrats are being a little, not a little, you know, pretty corrupt, you know, it seems. And I think that the Republicans have been in the past, if not even now. We'll see, you know, we'll see more. Hopefully we'll find out more about everybody, you know. I say if they're guilty, if they're corrupt, put them away. Get rid of them. You know what I mean? However you got to do that. In the jail, under the jail, Potter's Field, whatever you got to do. But to ignore corruption because it's happening with the people that you think are better than the other bad corrupt people is dumb. Let's get to the bottom of all of it, right? Let's start putting out. People have to be held responsible, right? You and I would be held responsible. No doubt. You and I would be held responsible. They're never held responsible. And then, you know, our governments are funding these giant corporations like Vanguard Group and you know, BlackRock and you know, Carlyle and all these NGOs and all this other bullshit. And that's why they can't account for trillions of dollars, because they create these freaking companies, allegedly. And then they use them to circumvent the Constitution. You know, Freedom of Information Act, you know what I mean? You know, it's a big fucking scam, you know? And we're not allowed to talk about it or look at it, right? Any aspect of it. You don't think that's strange? You know, even if you talked about the vaccines or whatever and the narrative, like I got censored big time, you know what I mean? I was getting a certain amount of views before I had any subscribers, you know? For a couple months, several months, I was getting, 20,000 views on my shit, and then all of a sudden I started changing my views and the way I was looking at things and the way that I was speaking about stuff, and all of a sudden it was like 2,000 views a month, 4,000 views a month. Now it's back up to like between 4 and 6, 8,000, somewhere in there, 4 to 6, say, right? I mean, and it seems strange, that's all. And now I have a couple hundred subscribers, not a lot, but you know what I mean? You would think that there would be just a little bit more, like, and like I can barely watch my earlier videos, you know what I mean? Because they're so cringy to me. I watch them, I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? And even still, I mean, but I think they've gotten better. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We got to protect this man. Seriously. This shit is important. And it puts it out in your face what they think about us. These companies, these officials, all this stuff. All right, everybody, have a great day. Talk to you later. Peace.